Originally put up a little message on Facebook saying, hey, World Expo 88 Australia signs for sale, so I was so keen to chat to him and hear the full story behind that. But yes, here at Caboolture Historical Village,
that we had finally made the decision that they were coming here to up at the Caboolture Historical Village. So we were just all overwhelmed. All the staff at the school were very happy that they weren't going to the scrap heap that we saved them, and we were.
Tell them I'm ready, mate. Tell them I'm ready.
What PSS?
I've got no idea, mate.
What's that?
What
PSS3.
PSS3, he's tested it before.
I certainly have Rebecca Livingston. It is inside the Citadel, but this has been transformed into the Church of Expo 88, can I say. Temperature. And Jason Ford is beside me. Jason, you know Expo like most other people don't, because you have been leading the charge, keeping those Expo memories alive on Facebook for many, many years now. What's your favourite memory of Expo 88?
Oh, there's a lot. It was a 6-month event, so there's everything from the monorail to the fireworks displays to the landscaping and the sculptures, so there's just so much.
Okay, inside this building, which was a Salvation Army chapel as I understand it, but now transformed as part of the Expo 88 celebrations 30 years on, with all sorts of memorabilia. We're looking at overhead and aerial shots of the Expo site, which is where the ABC office is now. What a transformation it's been there.
Yeah, look, this is now referred to as World Expo House. All right, so we've got cabinets full of memorabilia. We have costumes that were worn throughout Expo, including the town crier's uniform, which is quite spectacular. So that's an amazing piece of memorabilia. We've actually got on loan from the Brisbane City Council one of the Art Buster sculptures, and we definitely have to thank Lord Mayor Graham Quirk for loaning that. That's from Brisbane's collection. You have, of course, World Expo pens, which was the currency of World Expo 88.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, you collect these pins from each pavilion as you go past. I'll just move a little bit closer to them as well, because, gosh, you've got everything from almost every country represented, every company that seemed to be at Expo as well.
That's right, and on the World Expo 88 Facebook page, we have a whole album of those pins. Currently 300, and we're still going.
How many do you have in your own personal collection, can I ask?
I think it was about 200 myself. So, on that page we crowdsourced photos from people. So,
Yeah.
and you guys helped a lot with that, because I was in the studio with you about 6 months ago.
Yeah, around what would have been the start in 88, 30 years on.
Exactly, and we only had about 300 members in the group. You guys spoke about the World Expo Facebook page. We have 3,000 members now. So, we get to see and all this memorabilia.
A transformational event it was for Brisbane, really putting the city on the map on that world stage. 18 million people went through the gates, something like that. $600 million spent on making the event a reality. One of the things that I still have is Expo Oz, the plush toy version, the soft toy version of the Expo mascot. Do you know if the life-size costume is still around anywhere at all, Jason?
I believe that the museum in Brisbane has one in their vault in its entirety in perfect condition. There were about 4, I think, made. It was actually made by Disney. All right, so
really?
Disney designed the actual mascot. All right, so Disney Imagineering. It was actually a very famous Disney cartoonist who used to draw Donald Duck, who designed Expo Oz.
Get out of town. See, as a 4-year-old, that's who I remember from my Expo experience was Expo Oz, the massive platypus. If only I knew there was that suit there, maybe that would have been my costume today instead. Of course, Expo passports, where you get a stamp in each pavilion. Oh, hang on, is that yours?
Yes, I've got mine here, and I'm going to be here at the Caboolture Historical Village on Sunday, and I'm bringing a special 30th anniversary exclusive stamp from the exhibit that we've been running in Kingaroy at the museum. And I'm going to bring it with me, so if anyone brings their passports or buys the special passports that have been recreated for the event, I'll be on hand to stamp their passport.
I love that. Yes, special passports being made as well for the great Australia sign unveiling, which will happen on Sunday. You mentioned the town crier's uniform, then there's the pavilion team jumper for the Australian pavilion, and what's that red sash that says?
Hosting officer, so the Australian Pavilion was the largest, most expensive pavilion that was constructed for World Expo 88, and probably the most popular amongst people who attended.
Out of your own personal Expo 88 memorabilia collection, what's your pride and joy, Jason?
Well, it might seem a little unusual, but it's actually my season pass, you know, because that gave me entry whenever I wanted to the event over the 6 months so that I could keep going back as much as possible.
Yeah, how many times did you go?
I lost count, so I would have gone each week. So, you know...
Each week?
Yeah, so it ran for, 20-odd weeks. So, I would have gone there, 24 times.
6 months of the year, and an event that transformed South Bank and well, what we now know as South Bank. Is that an Expo 88 tea towel?
Yeah, and that one's in perfect condition.
I was going to say, it hasn't wiped up too many dishes.
Nobody has dried any dishes with that whatsoever. And down here you can see a fantastic book which has been donated by IBM, which is World Expo 88. There was only 2,000 copies of that book made for IBM, so this was donated just recently.
Gosh, it's incredible. So this is just some of the memorabilia. It might be bringing back memories for you. Go and dig out that Expo passport that's collecting dust somewhere, or that plush Expo Oz soft toy that you might have bought for your son or daughter, because that's what I remember only as a 4-year-old. It is quite incredible. This is inside what has become World Expo House inside the Caboolture Historical Village, Beck.
What a collection, and it'll be on display for the public to see. It's going to become such a destination for people to go to, and especially once the Australia sign is unveiled out the front of Caboolture Historical Village. That'll happen on Sunday. Next, you're going to hear